Friday!
A different kind of Friday.
It's a Friday of a different flavor.
What flavor would that be?
Flavor of the month. It's the flavor of the month Friday.
Better be in the flavor of the week.
It's the flavor, the South Texas flavor Friday.
Oh man, why do you bring that up?
Well, because frankly, if you assholes were paying any attention last time around, or actually over the last month,
right?
We actually decided to take the show on the road, thanks to a humble invite from my brother Darryl.
Indeed, this is on the road, Austin.
It is. We're the first Mead Metal and MMA podcast, right here from the northern side of the good part.
That's right, the Christian part.
There is no Christian part of Austin. Okay, anyway, but welcome to the Mead Metal and MMA podcast, where we run through a variety of issues. And as much as I like to bust Darryl's balls as much as I can, we do say a very convincing halloo to you, sir.
Well, welcome to Austin.
Thank you very much, man.
Welcome to the casa.
Thank you for the hospitality. This place is tits.
It's the nicest prison I have ever been in. There are gates and fences everywhere. It's all right.
Despite all my rage.
A couple ginger broads, which I'm all right with. I'm all right with that.
You've got a noticeable supply of lady.
You guys wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm not on the couch. I'm probably going to be outside prowling for some strange.
Or crying.
That's Austin. That's Austin.
Weeping openly.
You'll find me in a corner crying, yeah.
But nonetheless, this is where we come together weekly to discuss a variety of issues involving the three things we enjoy the most: Mead, Metal, and MMA.
Yes. And Bullet Rye, which, by the way, Friday's podcast, this edition is brought to you by Bullet Rye. Fine folks in Indiana.
Bullet Rye, actually bottled by Bullet Distributing Company in Plainfield, Illinois, but distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. And it is our weekly sponsor until someone tells us otherwise.
I hate to bite the skis off of Brendan Shaw, but I'm like balls deep in that rye already.
But
I'm only going to use it once.
We actually, on the road trip, we had a chance to listen to a lot of podcasts, which we don't usually listen to.
Yeah.
Brendan Shaw is...
he's fine for an hour, man, if he has no help.
Kind of a dummy, yeah?
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of like, I mean, not as dumb as Brian Callen, but still a bit of a dummy.
But I feel bad calling him a dummy, because the guy was a heavyweight in the UFC for a very long time, and he took a lot of shots to the dome. Calling him a dummy is actually probably maybe kind of a little over the line, or at least it will be in a couple of years.
It's just our medical opinion.
My medical opinion, as it is from one expert to another.
He got beat up so much he's stupid. He is punch drunk as Leon Spinks, I think.
So we do. But by the time we got in here, we already started like throwing around weird movie references and shit like that. Apparently, Darryl was like directly on board because threw out a Tombstone reference right away.
Say when. Say when.
Bad cat. But so we start there, and we also get into and this is the first time the Darryl's had Bullet Rye.
Yes. It's awesome. It's amazing.
That was really the kind of thing we wanted to get done. Enlighten.
I am enlightened, sir.
Then we're done.
I would also say that actually awesome and it's really good is like kind of like in our league. You're kind of actually the guy that knows what the fuck he's talking about. So
thank you.
You've got like a trained palate, right?
Absolutely.
Like a potty trained palate. Yeah. But you've got, there are notes that you don't, you aren't going to get this shit off Canadian Mist, but you're also probably not going to get off of some higher end Maker's Mark, although that's a bourbon. But
I love Maker's Mark.
Is this your first dive into rye? Maybe
it is my first foray into the art of rye, and I'm having a good time with it.
It's a short journey if you start with Bullet. It's a real short journey.
I have a trained palate. For those of you who don't know, I went through a Butler Training Academy as part of my executive protection experience way back when.
This guy's Alfred from Batman back in the 60s. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, are we talking the Morgan Freeman Alfred?
Actually, probably more apropos that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I was Batman.
The night is mine.
And it turns out, no, you just hand Batman his robe. That's all.
Batman approves.
Yeah. It's, you can go and shoot Crown and you make the face. It's almost like a job. Rye, there is no work.
No, it's
Rye does the work for you.
It's pretty damn pleasurable. So, all right, let's get to some of the more fun things before we crack into the top three. First of all, how's your week?
It's a heavy week. It's I have news. By Wednesday, I will have relocated from New Mexico for a couple months. I know.
All right, well, go fuck yourself. So who wants to be the new co-host of the meeting?
Now, if you can find a ginger man that can do what I do, you let me know because we might be related. But no,
auditions.
Yeah.
Auditions.
That'd be all right, man.
Hold open auditions. I'll send someone down.
The thing is, we actually have technology on our side.
Yeah, thankfully for just conversing for about an hour about the things we hold dear, we can get that done across wide gaps. But I will be in Lander, Wyoming for about 3 months. Unless I get a girl pregnant and I have to marry her, then I'll be down for all the big holidays.
Is that,
like fight weeks and whatnot.
Is that what you're aiming for?
Yeah, I'm going to go impregnate me a ginger. Because in Lander, Wyoming, the ginger population is extensive.
Now, you did say that they're all, the clay of the New West. Well, they're working women, you said, I think, right? Is that the...
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard it put that way, though. Yeah. Clay of the New West.
I think so. I think I might have actually fucked up a Blazing Saddles quote there,
And you might have also birthed a new one.
Maybe.
Artistic license.
That's okay. Yeah.
Artistic
Well, with
license.
me, it'd be autistic license, but that's okay.
Where on the spectrum are you, sir?
I'm right smack in the middle, as I should be.
But
But so 60 hours ago, you were in Wyoming, in the middle of Wyoming,
yes.
by the way, not like some bullshit.
Central Wyoming.
You weren't in the Colorado Wyoming of Cheyenne.
No, we're like 20 minutes away from a reservation, which means we're also 20 minutes away from casinos.
I was going to say, actually, in Wyoming, though, you're probably 20 minutes away most places in that state.
Well, because you had mentioned the wind of Wyoming. That stretch of interstate, once you because I hit Fort Collins and then I take a little detour instead of going further north to Cheyenne to get on the interstate.
Right, because nobody needs that shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'd be cool to see, but I'd rather save time.
Well, yeah, we can drive you down to downtown Austin tomorrow, and you can look around, pretend there's mountains in the background. Hey, right. Cheyenne.
My body is so confused. I could be on the surface of the moon right now. Just be like, oh, this is quaint.
Have you changed your pronoun?
Yeah, I am officially gender fluid.
Ginger fluid.
No longer cisgendered, but yeah.
Right. But I feel like with the ginger blood that courses through these veins, I could take over Lander and it would be mine.
It was weird because there's actually a turnoff for a place not far from here called Leander, Texas, and I kept thinking, is this guy just fucking with me? And he's really kind of just moving down to Austin.
No, me and Darryl are going to start our own podcast.
That's right.
I wouldn't actually be surprised, you fucking traitor.
Going to call it the Love Shack. Because this apartment is decent, sir.
Are you feeling the wah-wah?
I do. I feel the feng shui. It is quite quaint.
Well, it is awesome. I think it's feng shui. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I thought that was a beef jerky brand.
Last Torchy's tacos tomorrow about it.
Oh yeah.
So that's the other thing I'm looking forward to is trying out some of the local flair around here. I think first thing I asked Kevin was, "Is there Dave and Buster's nearby?"
Yeah. Is there a chain?
There is.
Is there really?
Is there a chain that we can dine at instead of this bullshit mom and pop?
You guys just dropped me off. I just want beer and games.
About 8-minute drive from my
You're shitting
doorstep.
me.
I am not shitting you.
Okay.
It's Austin.
So
it's got everything.
Pinball is on then.
Well, I just want to go down there and see if they have a Guitar Hero arcade cabinet. And if they do, then I'm good for an hour.
Brandon actually kind of ruins games like that for the children that are just in it for the high
I steal the souls of the youth.
That's right.
As far as gaming goes, when it comes to that, they shouldn't be playing Guitar Hero anyway. It's too hard.
That's right. To hell with those kids.
But you know you're going to get a Guitar Hero cabinet with the extra button, so that's going to fuck you up.
No, it's 5. It's always 5.
I thought you were bitching about some shit that
No,
Ruben
it was the new Guitar Hero that Ruben had bought that it took away the 5 buttons in a row. Now you got 2 rows of 3. So it's more like hitting chords and shit, which I'm not interested in that. It's an arcade experience. I'm not
Once upon a time, I would have asked if you'd ever had any experience picking up a guitar, but actually, as we know, you kind of do. So.
Very, I mean, it's still very basic. It's gotten better since we've been hanging out, you know, because now we got someone's like, get off your ass and let's play some music.
Right. Unless we get too much rye in us, in which case that only happens like every time we hang out.
That only happens like every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Especially Saturday, there's a fight card.
So anyway, but yeah, so you were in Wyoming 60 hours ago, and now you're in South Texas. So with that, any entertaining shit that has happened in your week?
Outside of thinking I saw some kids on a curb smoking meth.
Well, that's only because I told you that Coleman, Texas is really kind of where that shit's at. Yeah.
70-mile-an-hour wind gusts out in the middle of nowhere. Driving a little egg because there's a highway from the interstate to Lander, and it's 133 miles.
Yes,
and it is littered with nothing.
I've been on that highway.
It is really.
I have.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
I have.
It's windy. It's shitty, and there's nothing. And the only thing that's there is like those little like railroad crossing no signs. That it's not like there's no railroad here. It's like if these are down, the road is closed and you're fucked. But once you get to Lander, the wind comes down from 60 miles an hour to 7 miles an hour.
Ooh.
It's like 20 miles away from the Rockies. They're really up on their dicks about like mud season.
That sounds like anal shit.
That is when you go down to the local pub and you park the beef bus in Turd Town.
That sounds like that's where Dave and Buster's don't need to be.
Dave and Busted.
It is becoming popular.
Yeah, that's gonna be my new place for a little bit. Unless I win the fucking lottery, then I'll buy the place.
That's right.
Well, you know, that's the American dream, right?
Yeah, but I figure if this is the last podcast we're doing in person for a while, what a way to fucking do it, right?
Imagine.
That's right.
And I think we'll probably, we'll see. I don't fuck it. If tomorrow's like a great night and we're doing other shit, then maybe not.
Yeah, if we're having way too much fun, y'all can go fuck yourself.
That's really been kind of our mantra, really. Yeah. I mean,
go fuck yourself. It might have been the first time we've actually said it, but that's how we've always felt.
We've always felt that's the mission statement of this podcast.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, thanks, but go fuck yourself.
Other than that, I haven't jumped. This is the first time I've jumped through a different time zone on my travels, but I just feel like I'm still on the road.
Wow. Well, and it was a long trip and everything else. So, but tomorrow
but we may paying off this weekend.
That's right.
It's fucking paying off.
We might go supplemental, do another one tomorrow. Who fucking knows? Because if we do tomorrow, well, let's get to the Mead Metal and MMA podcast. Right. Because this one is the traditional forum this evening. Mead. We'll start with that because Darryl actually is probably, I pointed out before, he's the biggest donator after Brandon.
Yes,
for what we're doing. Because, well, let's face it, Brandon's a fan of what we do.
Yeah, and I'm part of it, so I mean, I know it's good.
So Darryl actually has a bottle of long ships from
2016?
2016. Because we didn't do one in 2017.
I'm so glad we have patrons that like to hold on to it every once in a while.
You know?
I was waiting to see if he's going to bust my balls because I hang on to shit for a stupid amount of time as well. So
it's special occasion.
That was why we were able to enjoy that bottle of Troublemaker you had from the last run.
There you go.
20, it might have been the
2015.
No, it wasn't 2015 because I think 2015 is when we were doing it in blue bottles.
No, well, you know what? No, 20.
Because we normally,
right. So it's 2016.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So. I mean, so I ended up accumulating a few here and a few there and everything else. So for those that actually are really, really big fans of what we do, Green Man's officially done, by the way.
The season is over.
Potentially.
For right now. Right now.
So I ended up having to bring down an assortment. God damn it. I never want to start a sentence with so because assholes do that.
So.
But anyway, so we bring down a whole bunch of bottles because Darryl didn't know what he wants. So that's fine.
That's right.
We're a traveling caravan of booze.
We're basically like
redhead,
gypsies.
blonde, brunette. What do I want?
But we do have 2 bottles of Green Man.
Yes.
Left. I thought 3 because I was like, well, there's one back at the meat hall. That one is actually going to go to ribs. You're right. You're the one that reminded me. So that's the proper usage.
Yeah. Oh man.
If you braise meats.
I'm going to braise me some meat with some Green Man.
Pork and Green Man go together. Peas and carrots.
Oh.
As a wise man once said.
Goes together like retarded fellows and blonde actresses. Well, that's Forrest Gump. That's Forrest Gump. That's Forrest Gump.
I thought you were going to say retarded fellow and bright shiny things.
Well, no. I was trying to keep it romantic because the Valentine's holiday.
Yeah,
not
you
far
had
behind
me
us.
swooning.
Yeah. So two of those. I brought down 2 runestone. I brought down a couple of long ships, which are new, and
Bringing Holly King.
and two Holly Kings.
2 Holly King, nice.
So anyway, so that gives Darryl like
2
a
by
full,
2 by 2.
Well, that was kind of by design, really. But
Well, I do plan on going outside Dave and Buster's trying to sling some mead.
no. So no.
Hey, you,
got a
family,
little
drink
talent.
this.
You like liquor?
Your kids will love it.
Hey kids, you know what you can use them game tickets on?
50,000 tickets get you a free ball of mead because I really want that inflatable shark.
Unfortunately, I probably want more Chuck E. Cheese, which makes it a little more disturbing. But.
Well, Chuck E. Cheese, and I had not to derail from the mead, but Chuck E. Cheese is really disturbing when it comes to tickets. Because this is already going to start off disturbing, but I was at a Chuck E. Cheese a couple years ago.
Were you trading out like food stamps?
No, they had a Guitar Hero arcade cabinet. I went in and bought a salad just so I could play the game. Not realizing, like, I'm at a kid's pizza establishment.
That's devotion, man.
I know. Well, when I'm passionate about something, I like to see it through. But when the little dickhead in the fucking Chuck E. Cheese outfit comes out,
Well,
I
that's son of a
shit
bitch.
you not, that dude was just making it rain on kids with tickets. It was moderately disgusting.
Wow.
If you've been to a strip club before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now those kids have not been, but their mothers
I don't know.
probably
Hey,
were.
you can't speak for that. If they're and if their mothers were, they were probably in the back with all the other whores.
That's right.
Set the tempo.
See, suddenly, I like it because suddenly, like,
Is there a Chuck E. Cheese nearby?
I know Darryl is sitting around going, "I can't believe my brother's this much of an asshole." And suddenly, you cleared me to where
right.
I
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
kinda
you're
humanitarian
golden.
again.
Right. Yeah.
You're golden.
Starting a sentence with "so" just doesn't compete with that.
Everyone's forgotten about that already.
What we're going to do tomorrow is so Darryl's got a bottle of long ships from 2015 or 2016 because we didn't do a 2017 batch.
Yeah. Well, we got it started in 2017, but it wasn't ready to go.
Right. So what we have is he's got an archived bottle, as we have found out.
That's why I'm here. I've traveled many a mile.
Yeah, and what we have though going on. Oh, well, you're up, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Of course.
I was trying to be very French polite on that, but
By yelling, here, winch, here.
yo, man.
Yo, beer.
But we've so he's got the bottle from 2016.
Yeah.
And,
fucking might as well.
and we brought down the recent one, the recently labeled bottle,
Which
everything else,
is
2018.
a beautiful bottle.
I think if you are a fan of whiskey, yeah, there we go. That's thank you, Darryl.
That's the way you want it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Brotherly love.
Thank you, sir.
If you're a fan of whiskey, actually, this Longships batch is probably your shit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean,
It has got such a wood component to it, and you know, and our friend and partner Brett had mentioned once upon a time saying this shit's like bourbon. This one is.
This
So
one truly is.
This is to show you what the difference is on the component of honey, and the fact is that we utilize that Wind River alfalfa honey.
Yeah.
On the 2016, so it came out sweeter and
Very sweet, yeah.
and it kind of really covered up.
Not a bad thing, but it's not what we'd envisioned for long ships.
I wanted it to be a batch where you go, that's what they drank. I mean,
I'm awake and ready to sail for hours.
if not for nothing else, this is. I mean, we're trying to replicate history for what we think it might be.
As close as we can without killing it.
And when it gets really sweet, then I start thinking, God, this is not what it should be.
Starts going commercial, yeah.
So alfalfa honey, as we learn, and it's a learning process. The alfalfa honey, it is very sweet. That's what we'll find on
Great for certain batches.
That
Like if we're
2016.
just doing a straight mead, perfect.
I think so.
You get your sweetness without any honey backing on the back end there.
Well, we don't honey back.
No, we never have.
Thing. So,
I mean,
you know, but the thing is, what we're going to do if we do a supplemental podcast tomorrow or Sunday morning or whatever, I don't know, but whenever we're slogan back breakfast mead, we'll
breakfast mead. That and some rashers of bacon. We're good to go, man.
So we'll figure it out, and but we'll do a side by side kind of, and I think that'll be good. Or we'll just probably do it on our own whenever we feel like it.
That's right.
I don't know.
Well, when we get thirsty, we're gonna drink.
We already brought the gear, so shit. I mean,
and we're here.
Let's make it so.
So, yeah, well, it's great that the guy that looks like Picard actually says make it so.
That's
so
right.
Make it so.
Yeah.
You got too much of a beard to be a Riker. I got more of the Riker beard. He's got the chin strap going.
Right.
You're like Worf.
I was going to go
Worf
with...
have a beard?
No, but if he did, it would look like that.
Oh, fuck you then.
You're like Advocate Kolos.
I'm okay with that, actually. I'm oddly okay with being a Klingon. You bet. You bet. Not Worf, though. But
just no Worf.
No half-breeds here.
So, oh, my God. This is descending into some shit we need to save here pretty quick. Okay, so the mead portion, we're good, yeah?
I think so.
Oh, and if, for those of you who want to know what the hell I'm doing at home, I've got a gallon batch of basically a hard cider.
Right, yeah. Yeah, like a honey apple cider kind of combo thing going.
I think so, yeah. I think I'll probably call it honey cider. Yeah, that's the
honey cider.
Yeah, not to be confused with the honey band. Although I might get sued, so I'll figure some other shit out.
That's right, man.
But it's a batch for those that are coming by that. I just had I had a lot of weird cider that was left over from the holidays, and I had some honey. Not enough to do a batch of mead. It was like a half a pound or something like that.
That was like some pretty aged cider, right?
Yeah, the cider is. I mean, obviously, I was probably squeezed out probably September, October, and then. But it's non-pasteurized is the thing. But it didn't sprout because I keep my refrigerator really, really cold. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, it's something that might be pretty cool if you want to come around and hang out and have a couple drinks. Drinks, Randy.
Couple drinks. Maybe I'll just let the liquor do the thinking, bud.
And that's Trailer Park Boys. If you're trying to figure out what the fuck we're trying to reference right here.
If you ever hear Randy or Bud, it's Trailer Park Boys.
Moving on to metal.
In the town of, I mean, Austin's known for music, right? Mm-hmm. They got a couple things going on here, right?
A lot of blues, a lot of country. I don't know about the metal side of things here.
It's a small but vibrant scene, and apparently the scene is just not being very vibrant this weekend.
Well, they clearly didn't know we were showing up.
Clearly.
Well, we'll probably clear the fuck out of town.
That is my fault.
Season woes in town.
Yep. we gotta go. Gotta go.
But yeah, I mean, hell, this is like my first time in Austin at all. I've been to like Dallas, but that's about as close as I've been to the heart of Texas. Yeah,
Dallas.
Well, that was
like
where I
bragging
went.
About being in LA.
That was where I went to my first concert ever. Was at Texas Motor Speedway.
Was it Pantera?
No, it wasn't that awesome. It was we'd gotten free tickets from Blockbuster Video for like a rock fest in 95, 96. That was headlined by Bush, No Doubt, Collective Soul, Counting Crows.
Which Bush was it? W or HW?
It was the British.
It is Texas.
It was the British Bush. It was the Gavin Bush. I still think it's where Gavin Rossdale of Bush and Gwen Stefani met and first got married.
Where he got into Bush.
Where he got
just that word.
You think
it's tough, right?
You don't think Gwen Stefani is really kind of proper about the maintenance of her lawn?
I feel like it's a goddamn rose bush down there.
I think it's probably
thorny, scary, but if you can find the sweet spot, you're good.
I think it's somebody that like throws a lot of trash in their backyard that down. I'm sorry, no, that's over the line.
You want to talk about going off the rails?
That's over the line. That's on me.
You had me.
I'll drink to that.
You had me at Bush. Let's all drink to that. Let's all drink to that.
Oh, but I already did.
It's almost like we're back doing like this shit at the meat hall. That's the crazy.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's why it feels all right.
All right,
it feels all right.
What else? We have something else on the metal side. What the fuck was it? Oh, Pantera. We have to bring up Pantera because you don't do a podcast in Texas if you're not from Texas.
You got to talk about the Cowboys from hell every once in a while.
That's right. That's right.
I do have a Pantera story.
Really?
Yes.
Fucking
I do.
Here we go. Here we
I
go.
do.
Your
all
stage.
Right.
Your stage.
So okay.
Don't suck.
Oh.
That's right. It's all on you now. We're gonna be back here drinking.
The pressure. Oh my God. Yeah. So way back when, this is okay. Mouth for War. right?
Mouth for War, yep.
Mouth for War.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
The
So
Far Beyond Driven album, yeah.
So I was living in I was living in Lubbock, Texas. I was
Little Austin, as they call it.
Little Austin. Right.
Dicks. Dicks call it that. Yeah.
So I
Call like a
oh my God. So I got to spend the day with Dimebag,
No fucking way.
driving him around in my little white Mitsubishi truck,
Holy crap.
looking for guitar pedals in pawn shops.
Wow.
I spent about 6 hours with him doing that.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
I'm not
That
fucking
is
kidding you.
gnarly, dude.
At any point, do you think, really, if I had a gun right now?
That is just awful.
But you knew it was eventually probably gonna.
we might have lost some listeners after that.
Oh man,
that
I hear laptops slamming
exactly.
down.
Like, oh, that's it. That's actually, what that sound is. People going. He said, "What? Let me invite my cousin to this
That's
podcast."
awful.
I know it is awful, but expect that from me. So.
we're terrible people.
But however, the
Yes.
cool thing is because you were actually kind of the dude that was like booking a lot of the talent at the Palladium at the time.
It wasn't the Palladium. It was oh my God, it's been so long. It was
before the Palladium,
It was
yeah?
before the Palladium.
Holy shit!
It was I can't even think of the name of it.
It was a Roman thing, yeah.
Nope.
No, because
It's a Roman
Palladium.
thing.
Is that in the industrial district?
No, well, it's a depot district. Because
It was.
Depot District,
It was. Shit. What was the name of that place? It was right across from the depot, the warehouse,
the
warehouse,
the brew pub.
depot warehouse.
Yeah.
It was the warehouse.
Oh, that place.
Oh,
that has
yeah,
like
well,
the
I guess
doors
it
with,
was
like
the
the
depot
garage doors on
warehouse.
the
Yeah,
side.
yeah. So they came in. They advertised the show as the Cowboys from Hell. Sold out in under an hour. 1,000
surprised.
seats.
Holy shit.
1,000 seats. While everything was getting set up, I took Dimebag around. It was awesome. Dropped him off at the hotel. Then later on, I returned and picked up Dimebag, the bass player, can't think of his
Rex
name.
Brown.
Rex and his girlfriend, and drove like a bat out of hell to get them to the gig on time for their sound check. Flying through Lubbock. Got him there, and then spent the evening enjoying people breaking the barricades.
Oh yeah, there's serious
So,
power going on at Pantera.
It was
concert.
crazy.
What?
Holy shit, that is
so.
awesome.
What were you playing for their listening pleasure?
Yanni at the Acropolis.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you want to keep the
Yeah.
mood light.
You know.
A bunch of weird, like Greek fucking traditional music.
That's. I was sworn to secrecy.
Right.
Oh, well, he's dead now. You can say whatever you
No,
want.
the interesting thing is that then his twin goes working for the Depot District later and works for Pat Travers and has to get him other.
Pat Travers, Alice
Yeah.
Cooper, all those
And-
cats.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Now Lubbock kind of shuns that shit and wants singer-songwriter stuff. They want it's I don't
And they
I
hold
don't
on to the Buddy Holly thing a little too tightly.
more than they should.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah, I
that kind of
agree.
rejected Buddy Holly when he's live. And a lot of you are not going to appreciate that, but that's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
Because actually, my brother Dave introduced me to one of Buddy Holly's relatives, and she was like, "Nah, it's bullshit. You know what this town
really?
does?
Holy shit.
Yeah."
Yeah.
Dude
They didn't
recorded his
treat him
biggest
well.
album in goddamn Clovis, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not Lubbock, Texas, dude. And there's a reason behind that.
Yep.
But so if you're from Lubbock and you have a problem with that, you
Cash
see
me
us.
outside.
Come see us.
Get with me. I will set you straight. I will set you straight.
We will settle the bill together.
All right, let's get. I don't want to run long on this one because we.
Oh hell
did
no,
that last
we're doing
Well,
well.
I just
Yes.
want to say
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
one
by the way.
last thing about Dimebag. He was an amazing, sweet guy, and we had awesome conversations.
Everything I've seen of Dimebag Darryl, because I haven't been lucky enough to meet the man, it just seems like everyone that is connected to him in any way, be it for 5 years or 5 minutes, is affected by it in a great way.
He was amazing.
Hell, I cried at the Pantera Behind the Music when they were talking about when he got shot.
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
Yeah.
But that is awesome.
It
See,
was
that's a better How's Your Week story than anything. Of course, it was a week about 20-something years ago, but still.
yeah, 20 years ago.
Well,
The week he had 20 years
was
ago is
a
better
long
than my
time
current
ago.
week.
It was definitely a long time ago.
Don't measure your weeks against other weeks that have happened in the past. Always measure your week right now against what you have done. Has it been a good week?
Fucking ain't right.
Have you had a Darryl fucking hangs out with Darryl fucking kind of week? Or have you had a, Brandon has to hang out with Kevin on a 7.5 hour fucking drive week? I mean,
with no liquor or jazz cigarettes, it was tough.
Yeah,
just AM radio and farts.
That's
Thankfully, we had that auxiliary cable.
We have no AM
we had Joe Rogan and Bill Burr. In music, normally on Fridays, we will talk about the Friday releases. The biggest one of the week was Windhand, which was on a split EP with Satan Satyrs. We've already listened to it. We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's not really been a very active week in metal. But as far as like metal news goes, apparently James Hetfield's an actor now.
Ooh. SAG card?
I feel like he's probably going to get one now.
Yeah.
The guy that did any of you guys ever see Some Kind of Monster? The Metallica documentary? Right around the time Saint Anger came out? Yeah.
Great documentary.
Damn, they showed that in like the IMAX in Lubbock.
Yeah. The guy that directed that is also directing this Ted Bundy biopic. And he picked fucking James Hetfield to play the cop that pulls over Ted Bundy and ends up arresting him and putting him in jail, which starts this whole he's that.
Well, now he'll have to cut his hair. Wait, you know what? Guess
no,
what?
we don't talk about haircuts and Metallica in the same sentence. We don't do that.
We just don't do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how he does as like playing a part that isn't James Hetfield. I'm really curious.
Man, I don't know. It's. I hope he does well. That's all I can say. And I know dude is not going to be like thinking about jumping into the film industry.
Oh, fuck no. He's too old. He's too goddamn old.
I don't think that's the case. I actually think he's got too much of a love for... he's got little privacy as it is. Why does he want to endanger even more?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I think it's just something he's kind of doing because he knows the director from the Some Kind of Monster biopic. And who knows? Might be great. I'll certainly be checking it out on the Pirate Seas.
I got one. It's not metal, though. Fuck. It says Smashing Pumpkins. So,
yeah, there you go.
Lord almighty, you've got... No, the problem is, I'm not a huge fan of the Smashing Pumpkins to start with. Sorry. But I'm
musically, they've done good shit.
1979.
Disarm is good.
Disarm is okay.
Disarm is a great...
It's okay.
It's a moody jam.
There are about 4 or 5 tracks I would be okay with. There are friends of Darryl's, but that actually want to sit back and listen to the entire,
listen to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness front to back.
The entire inventory of the entire band.
Oh, the whole discography. Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
So that's fine, and I'm not trying to shit on Judd, but here's the thing: is that I don't care for the band politics, and the band politics is what really broke up the band to start with, right?
Oh yeah. After Adore, it got really bad.
Darcy, the original bass player, and I don't remember her last name offhand.
Darcy Wazinski or something like that.
Some
it's
shit
a
like
weird,
that.
Weird last name.
I'm not going to stress over it because I don't really care. But so the thing is that she ends up getting arrested for crack cocaine possession.
When was that?
Like 04 or something.
Oh, shit, that's more than 10 years.
Oh, okay. So we give everybody a free pass. Oh, never mind.
Especially their lady.
It's been a decade. Pass.
Hey, when I bought Adore, the album, and she was basically wearing a mesh top in that thing, it changed my life.
Yeah. But beyond spank material, so she's actually a musician. I'm not sure if you're aware of it.
Well, I know she plays a bass. That's about all I know outside of the
But the problem is Billy Corrigan then, so he's got his thing going on, and she left the band in 1998, and it was a bad break. Billy Corrigan said she basically she was a traitor. He called her all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah, it was a bad break with all of them, even with James Iha.
If you leave Smashing Pumpkins, it's not going to be a good break.
Yeah.
Billy Corrigan's going to make you look like an asshole, so...
But this day and age, now it's apparently pretty easy to see people's private conversations as long as they're willing to share it.
Because all you got to do is go ahead and screen capture and post it on your social media, which happened. And so apparently, Corgan kind of went from this whole thing like, hey, we want to kind of work you back in again. And she's like, cool, well,
I kind of got this health issue going on. I might need surgery, but I'll let you know.
She has a shoulder issue, right?
Yeah,
you know?
shoulder-
So then
shoulder
this whole
injury.
thing, like, yeah, can you lug around
Which
about
later
a 16-pound base? And,
Come to find out that it was it didn't need surgery.
Thank
yeah.
goodness.
She's like, hey, good news, don't need surgery. He's like, oh,
Billy's like, okay, cool.
that's
Well,
cool, but
we're gonna put you on a T-shirt.
We're going to try to limit your exposure. We don't want your fans to not appreciate the fact that you're really only doing like one song with us or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
whoa. It's devolved.
Yeah, it went from like a full-on reunion tour to like, hey, if you want to come out and play 2 to 6 songs, that would be great.
Yeah.
To like, hey,
We want to be
any
able
money
to,
we make off T-shirts, it's yours.
we want to be able to sell merch with
It's
your face
terrible.
on it. So
That's awful.
that's which she obviously and rightly so said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
And that's so they're back to not talking again, which probably
Nothing's changed.
Yeah,
basically,
nothing.
nothing has changed at all.
It's the same as 19.
Billy Corgan is busy trying to run the NWA as well, and not
The
uh,
dude owns a wrestling organization.
What?
He bought the National Wrestling Alliance.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah, the 20 pounds of gold. That guy is just trying to bring it back, and I appreciate that because I never thought Billy Corgan was a wrestling fan.
Maybe he just likes to train with them.
I think he just likes to watch them train.
That might,
Maybe he's
that might be.
dreaming of training with them.
if you wouldn't mind there.
Yeah.
I think it's about time for shot 4,
Kevin's
right?
pouring. Kevin's pouring.
Do they make that in like handles?
Well, I do proper pours.
As opposed to improper pour.
Thank you, sir.
Likely something Billy Corgan would do.
Let's move to MMA portion of the podcast.
Yeah, this is going to take up at least a little bit in case we don't chat about it tomorrow, which I'm
Smackdown.
fairly
let's
certain
make
we
sure
will.
though. I mean, we're cool on time and everything
Oh
else.
fuck
'cause
yeah!
I don't wanna,
We are 36 minutes.
You're on Austin time now, mister.
well, but we I don't want to
Yeah.
split this into a two-parter because then it gets confusing for some listeners.
right.
And I'm not really trying to lay that
Like
on Krista too heavily tonight. But yeah, if I send you 2 links, that's 2 different podcasts going
Listen
on.
to part 1 first, and then the second one afterwards.
oh, Krista.
And I'm not trying to call you out.
I called you out.
Okay. So
So one of the big reasons outside of hanging out with Darryl here
Yes.
that we are here is the 3 of us are going to watch some people get the shit beat out of them on Sunday.
that's right. We're going to go
Absolutely.
down to 6th Street and we're going to
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
a lot of shit go down.
That doesn't mean us three.
We're gonna go to where they flick the pennies to the wall, and whoever gets it close to the wall gets all the pennies. We're gonna go down there and wait for a fight to break out, and then we're gonna make bets.
Or there might be a UFC event.
No, it's far more-
Either way.
Before we get into that, though, we were listening to the Joe Rogan podcast earlier today with Brendan Schaub, and talked about Ben Askren a lot. Apparently, Rogan is trying to facilitate a deal to get Ben Askren into the UFC.
So why is the world's greatest wrestler? Why has he never been under the UFC banner?
From what I heard when Ben Askren was on the Rogan podcast, it sounds like they had a deal in place and Askren was behind it, and then it was going to go basically to a UFC farm league. I don't think it was WFA at the time. Might have been could have been Legacy.
At that time, probably
'Cause this
the
was
wor-
fairly-
cage
this
the cage organization.
This was
yeah?
right before he signed with ONE FC.
Okay.
And it just all fell through. Apparently, he was like, "I'm ready to work for you guys," and then UFC told him, "Well, we don't have a job for you now."
Well, that was the whole thing. Is that Dana White wanted him to come in and do what he had to do, and come. I don't know. I don't know.
From
what
the Ben Askren side, it sounds like that he was okay with that, but then he got a call and was like, "Oh no, we're good." So he's kind of left man without a country. Hence going to ONE FC for a little bit.
Here's the problem, though, is that he is known as probably the world's greatest wrestler. If you're trying to figure out somebody that has the Olympic wrestling style that is able to utilize that in MMA, there's nobody that does it better. Some of you assholes might say Khabib, but you can go fuck right off because
That's right.
Ben Askren is the guy
Yeah.
that is able to do that.
I think he's rocking welterweight. I think it's 170.
170 is his cut. Now, that's his cut point. I mean, 185 is his natural, right?
Yeah. And from what I've read, he's wanting to fight GSP. Ooh. Which, I mean, that's a fight people would want because of money, notoriety, and what a way to make a splash in UFC by beating the shit out of an old French Canadian dude.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of God. There's a Canadian joke in there for you. Our friend Patrick can find it, and he'll do well with that. But yeah, I'll leave it alone. So.
But as we all know, Dana White's kind of a dick.
He is. But the thing is, and why didn't when that was the big question. So when the WMG buyout came out, why did they keep him as president of the organization? Well, the reason is because nobody wants that fucking job.
Yeah, and he's really more a figurehead than he is anything.
When's the last time that we've seen him? He doesn't address the media after the post fights suck now. I will say that
they really do. I do not like the new format.
I mean, Dana White used to come out and he would have all the fighters from the card that won that night that were sitting there on a dais, and he would come out and address it on the attendance.
Give us the numbers, give us the performances, and then bitch about the bad stuff. And
yeah,
then he'd be out.
And then he was gone. It's not that way anymore. Now they have it where it's a one-on-one with the fighter. Man, I hate the way they do it now. I really do.
It really takes a lot of the soul out of it.
How long have they been doing that?
Since
the WME buyout.
Yeah, so I mean, we're talking a year and a half.
Yeah,
that's too long.
Well, I mean, basically now the way they do it is like we're just going to throw single fighters up to a table. You get to ask them questions because a lot of times they'd have 3 or 4 people up there, and there would be one fighter that the press didn't give a fuck about, even though that guy might have been the shining star of the night.
Right.
And now it just comes down there, and he might get asked a question or two, and there's like, "Are you all done with me?" He's having it really awkward.
It's actually more awkward now than it was when they would have a full bunch. I mean, it's
that's some marketing executive.
Yeah.
And calling the shots.
Well, you have an entertainment organization buy out your sport.
Yep.
That's
there
what
you go.
Get.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
And that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we were listening to the Rogan podcast on the way up here, and they're talking about Floyd Mayweather fighting CM Punk.
What?
No, I mean, it's a weird reality that we're living in now, MMA-wise.
Floyd Mayweather is not going to fight anybody that's UFC.
He's not fighting Conor. He is not fighting Conor first fight in UFC, if that even ever happens.
It won't happen. It won't happen.
No.
Yeah, it won't happen.
Let's move on to the reality. The reality is we're in Austin because there's a big fucking card.
That is true. But before that, we need to talk about last weekend.
Let's do that. Let's do that quickly.
We can run down because it was a pretty decent card. We got to see Ross Pearson finally get a victory, which was nice.
It wasn't over an Albuquerque fighter in Albuquerque.
I'm a sympathetic fan of Ross Pearson.
The most egregious judging decision that's ever happened in the UFC happened in Albuquerque, and New Mexico will never get another card.
Of course,
we were supposed to get 2. We were supposed to get 2 in Albuquerque, and the first one was the Ross Pearson Diego Sanchez card. And Ross Pearson beat the holy fuck out of him for 25 minutes and lost.
What?
Because he's in Albuquerque. And Diego Sanchez is from Albuquerque.
Yep. Yeah.
We haven't seen that second fight
represent that Duke City, and there will never be another fight in Albuquerque. Yeah. Probably if the souls that be have anything to say about it.
Wow.
And I know that Jake Matthews and Li Jingliang ended up getting fight of the night, which we'll get into that in a minute. I think the fight of the night was Jussier Formiga fighting Ben Nguyen, and Ben Nguyen fucking getting rear naked choked in the third. That was a
Ben
great
Nguyen was
fight.
supposed to be the guy that was going to be. I mean, he's been sensational. I'm going to knock him, but I mean, God dang it, he had no answers to that game. I mean, a superior fighter is going to find a superior way to fucking getting the win on.
But it was a great fight. It was a great late finish.
I do mean that win by a pun. That's
intended.
That's intended. Yeah.
But we'll let's break down the main card here. At welterweight, Jake Matthews defeated Li Jingliang via unanimous decision, even though thankfully he still has his eyesight.
Fight of the night.
Dude gets paid $50,000 for
both
performance.
Both fighters get
$50,000. Even though Li Jingliang tried to eye gouge Jake Matthews while he had him in a rear naked choke.
Because he thought he was grabbing a hold of a
both eyes.
He thought he was grabbing a hold of like a catfish gill,
or like some grapes or something. I don't know. But I mean, Roddy Piper has given less blatant eye pokes than this guy did.
I'm trying to put pennies on your eyes, man.
It was
For the
terrible.
ferryman.
It was
For the
terrible.
ferryman.
You know,
I'm
the
glad.
problem is they give that the fight of the night, so that means the cheater ends up getting 50 grand.
Which how do you
that's
give a
bullshit.
fight where two judges saw 1 round 10-8 a fight of the night? That means that's a blowout.
Yeah.
Well, it's in a country other than the United States.
Right.
That's the problem.
Sure.
I don't want to probably look like that guy, but I am that guy.
Yeah.
Is that if it's not in Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm going to question the judges mostly if it looks a little bit weird.
But at least in Perth, they're fucking recognizing the new rules,
Well,
which was
the
nice.
unified rules of the UFC that
Which are not unified because only 2 places recognize them. That's New York and apparently Perth.
which is actually New York and the world. It's, yeah, 2 places, New York and the world.
No,
That's-
I mean, Vegas doesn't recognize them. Like, they have not adopted
know.
the new rule set.
That's what I mean.
This is so stupid.
No,
Why have a vote for-
every venue in America doesn't recognize.
And it's a better
it.
rule set.
It's a great rule set.
We'll jump to the co-main here. Curtis Blades defeats Mark Hunt via unanimous decision.
Yep.
Had a couple 10-8 rounds in there as well. Mark Hunt is nearing the end of his run on his UFC contract. Probably going to go to Bellator.
He'll do well in Bellator, I think.
Well, I mean, he needs to be there now when they're
Actually-
doing this heavyweight tournament.
Actually, I think that he'll probably clean up in ONE FC.
I'd like to see Fedor and Mark Hunt fight in Bellator. I'd watch that.
Well, because the main reason is because Mark Hunt's already his camp. Everything is in Australia,
Yeah,
so ONE FC is very Asian friendly.
sure.
So Bellator.
Oh, so you think he's going to go to ONE FC?
Yeah, because geography, man, geography. ONE FC needs.
I don't own a globe.
They need a champion, and Mark Hunt's the right champion for that.
Yeah.
For that.
But
promotion.
they're I don't know how strong their heavyweight division is. It might be an easy romp for him. I would like to see him go to Bellator and fight Fedor. Get
Yeah.
2 old gens up there to just rock each other's faces for about
I don't know,
25 minutes.
I think Fedor would die in that fight. I really do.
Either that or Mark Hunt would just be exploited again.
Mark Hunt throws the best strange angle punches from a heavyweight.
He has one of the best overhand rights in the game. Absolutely.
And I want to see him go out in an honorable fucking way. And the problem is that Curtis Blades did what everybody that's an Olympic grade wrestler does now. He
Wrestled him.
He laid on him.
Yeah.
For
Took
5
him down.
rounds,
As soon as he wore damage, he took him down and kept him there.
Yep.
So we'll see what he has coming up next. But the main thing is our interim middleweight title fight, which only one person was actually eligible for because Yoel Romero came in at 187.7 pounds for a middleweight fight.
Hey,
Yoel
Picadillo is a fucking thing.
KTFO'd Luke Rockhold in 3rd round. I was so happy to see that. I am not a Luke Rockhold fan.
I'm not-
I think he needs to go back to modeling, get that shit done.
I want
Easy
people.
money.
I want people to know I'm not an AKA fan.
Well, I think
American
we've made that known on this
Kickboxing
podcast
Academy.
several times.
Well, only because of the fact that I'd said I want to see some of them burned alive. But I mean, that's not here or right now. I mean, you got Daniel Cormier, who has never beaten John Jones.
Even come close to beating him either.
You have Cain Velasquez, who fights as often as I. God, I don't know.
Defecate.
No, I do
Great minds. I
do
was
a-
going to say
I do
take
a
a
lot
shit.
of-
I knew we were both thinking about poo.
I actually got to say I do a lot of great things. Actually, I have to actually drop it back down to something else. That
Don't
Cain-
compare it to you.
Cain Velasquez does. He fights.
Every time the McRib comes back, Kane fights.
It's about every 2-3 years, right?
It's a sign.
It's about every 2-3 years.
It's a sign.
And you got Luke Rockhold, and they are now saying, well, this guy clearly needs to move up to light heavyweight. Well, American Kickboxing Academy has got a lot of assholes in their ranks.
They really do.
And
I'm sure there's some good fighters in there, but they're not the notable fighters.
No.
All the notable fighters are dicks. They've ruined a lot of main events.
Sure.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad. The middleweight division itself is bad right now. It's in such a state of flux because GSP came in, beat Bisping, and was like, well, here's your belt. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So now we got
Bisping had no care.
a quick timeline of the middleweight title. Bisping beats Luke Rockhold, wins belt. defends it a couple times. Should have lost it to Hendo. And then he had like some kind of injury or something, which set up the Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero interim title fight, which Robert Whittaker won in Vegas. Interim champ. GSP comes in, beats Michael Bisping, new middleweight champ, thinking we're going to get Whittaker and GSP, which would have been a great fucking fight. GSP would have gotten fucked up, though. GSP drops belt. So the interim champ...
He's not a middleweight.
The interim champ is now your actual champ. But then he goes down with injury. So we're going to get Yoel Romero and Luke Rockhold for another interim belt. Yoel doesn't make weight. Luke Rockhold's the only one viable. If he wins the fight, he gets the belt.
And we get Yoel Romero versus Robert Whittaker.
We get Romero Whittaker 2, which I'm okay. I think
that's the right decision.
I agree.
If you're trying to figure out what's right in this sport, that's the right.
And this knockout of Yoel on Luke, that's candidate for knockout of the year already.
That punch that he threw at the very end
came straight
when
from Cuba.
Was already he was already fucked up when he buckled back against the fence, and then Yoel just throws like basically what's an uppercut. But I mean, at that point, that's just a straight hook.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's an uppercut on a man that's basically down. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I hate to abandon this current chat, but I got to go rock a piss.
Good man. All right.
So I'll be back.
So anyway, so here we go, Darryl.
All right, it's on us.
We're going to go to the Travis Irwin Center.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Irwin Center.
Yeah.
Is it Travis?
Is it? I don't.
Travis.
You're the
some guy from.
Here. We're here.
Some guy from the Alamo. Travis.
We're here to watch fights. That's what we're here to do.
And I can't wait. But the question is, I'm picking up from both of you all. You're not fans of GSP.
No,
Why?
I am.
Okay.
Here's the problem: is that
say more.
The problem I have is that the promotion put UFC the UFC promotion put GSP into a position where he had to react. And they said, okay, you get this fight against Bisping, and then you have to give us one more, right?
Yeah.
Which we've seen that happen in Musically. Boston had to do 3 albums, yeah, right? I mean, I'm tying it all together on contracts.
You're tying it together.
So bear with me. It'll come back around again.
I'm bearing.
So the whole thing is, so you've got GSP who hadn't fought in years. So he wins. He has the middleweight belt, which he doesn't want. I mean, the guy's acting like it's around his waist, and you can look at him. He's looking at it like somebody he used to date, I mean, and he's like, ugh, So
I gotta peel this condom off as fast as possible.
And that's the whole thing. And it's like, oh, cool, he's the middleweight champ, and everybody in the whole sport went, he's not going to defend it,
Right. Yeah.
And that is the way it went. And it was like he didn't defend that belt. He gave it up immediately. That guy is interested in the welterweight belt, kind of. Here's the whole thing: is the welterweight champ is an asshole. It's Tyron Woodley, who really only wants a money fight. He doesn't want to defend his belt for the right reasons. He wants to defend his belt for the monetary reasons.
Got it. Yeah.
Because he knows once he loses, he will not be in that play
He's
again.
He's done.
I mean, he knocked out fucking Robbie Lawler. I will give him that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he won that. He took that belt from Robbie Lawler.
And he fought 2 of the most boring fights I've ever seen in the UFC against Stephen Thompson.
Let's not forget the Damian Maia fight.
Well, here's the other thing. So we were talking about, so Darryl's talking about Dimebag Darryl Walgo. Darryl hung out with fucking Stephen Thompson.
Yes, indeed. Hung out.
That's right. You told me about that.
Yep. Okay, so I'll try and make this short. So I worked for Chuck Norris, close and personal, when he was developing.
His beard is brilliant in real life as it is on TV.
Is there an extra fist under there?
I have so many stories. It's a shame I had to sign that NDA.
Oh, damn,
Maybe one day. One day.
Wait for Chuck Norris to die, and I'm going to come over here for some stories.
When you guys come back together as a team, we're going to talk Chuck Norris stories.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with anal sex. I don't know why. Hey,
but
it's Chuck.
Yeah, so Stephen Thompson, I met Stephen when he was part of Chuck's He was trying to put together this thing that competed against the UFC.
World Series of Fighting?
World Combat League.
World Combat League.
World Combat League.
Yes.
That's a shirt I'll be representing on Sunday, by the way.
It was the family-friendly version of UFC. No blood, no UFC, no hot chicks walking around.
No cage.
No Ariana Grande.
Cage. Yeah, no
Like
cage.
just like a raised berm.
A raised berm around the. Yep. So anyway, it didn't. It was great for a season, and then it faded. But
like
that's
the XFL.
right. But
Yeah.
that's
coming back.
But that's where I met Steven. A nice guy and super talented. And,
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could tell that from his last 3 fights in UFC before he fought Woodley.
yeah. And what was the deal with that? It's like, I couldn't believe how hesitant he was.
And even more so in the second fight.
Yeah.
Because they turn him into a counter puncher,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
Here's the problem: is because of the fact that counterpunching is it is great. It is a fantastic thing. If you find somebody dumb enough that falls into that whole thing of
Counterpunching. It's like being the second guy to throw rounds in a gunfight. It's like you're already down. You're getting hit. And you're tapped.
Anderson Silva made a career off that shit, by the way.
well, and I will say this too: is that Darryl actually knows what he's talking about, instead of just me and you who actually speculate that we do know what we're talking about.
Well, rarely do we have someone talking with us that knows anything about MMA.
He's,
Usually at this point, if we have a guest, they are silent.
Silent.
Well, Darryl, true or false? Do you have a black belt through Texas karate?
I have 3 black belts. One of them through Texas karate.
Damn. I feel safer already.
I'm a trained international bodyguard.
Yeah, I'm going to be the Whitney Houston to your Kevin Costner.
Well, I guess you will be if he says you will be.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have a choice about it.
So are we going to close the show with you singing to me? Is that the deal?
That's how I close every show.
Let's close the show as we do. Picks. Let's go up and down the card for UFC Austin.
Yes, indeed. We are. Let's see. There is a Roberto Sanchez versus Joby Sanchez fight.
I'll take Sanchez.
I'll take Sanchez at 125. Yeah, looks like Roberto Sanchez, a little more of the submission artist. We're gonna jump right to the main card here. Sage Northcutt fighting Thibault Gouti out of France. Sage Northcutt has not had a good run of it.
No, not lately.
Yeah, he started off super strong. I was already planning on him and Paige Van Zandt to have sex and have a super child.
Start cracking out small children. That
was back when he was
martial
19.
artist, yeah.
As soon as that motherfucker turned 20, apparently he forgot how to fight. Got the best abs in the business, but he don't know how to fight.
Well, in his first loss, they said, well, because he had the flu this week. Okay, cool. And then the second loss, they're like, well, he was working on some other stuff. And it was like, well, is the dude going to work on fighting? Because that's going to be an interesting part of it all.
Do you want to be incredibly good looking, or do you want to be a fighter?
Right.
Sage is going to win because it's in Texas, I think.
If it goes the distance, yes.
Unless, how do you pronounce his last name? Goody?
I was calling it Gouty, but I'm sure.
Goody?
I'm sure
Gouty
I'm saying
Goody?
I'm pretty
Gouty
sure it's
Goody?
Goody. Now, this
Gouty
man's
Goody?
been to France, so
Call
I'm
him Gucci.
going to jump
Good
on
day.
his fucking
Good day.
bus instead of yours. So, yeah.
Because let's not forget that he was put to sleep by Mickey Gall, surging Mickey Gall.
Yeah, without telling him a tale or anything.
And before bastard. And Brian Barberina also put him to sleep as well.
Brian
This guy is
Barberina's
very
basically
susceptible to if you
like
get
me
his back
To the sleeper.
He's going to sleep.
Yeah, he's going to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, shot glass years.
So
Mine?
I'm gonna go with Sage.
No, I'm actually
as well.
still okay.
Just be what?
I was just drinking all this beer I still had.
I'm shocked.
That's what we're doing.
Sorry. I always want to do better.
I'm gonna go with the Texan.
I'm
the
going
pseudo
with
Texan.
I'm going with the Frenchie. Sage Northcutt, I have a vote of no confidence.
Sacre bleu.
I have.
And if he's within spitting distance, I'm gonna spit on his perfectly chiseled abs.
I do think that Sage Northcutt is going to. They're offering him this. This is what the UFC does. They're giving him like, hey, you have a fight in your home state. Make this shit work, or else we're going to find some other options.
You're doomed.
Yeah. I'm going with the Frenchie.
I'm going for Sage Northcutt only because, in fact, I want to see him fight again and lose at some point.
Next up, we have Thiago Alves.
Kind of like that, yeah.
We got Thiago Alves fighting Curtis Millender, who does not have a picture on the UFC webpage, so that already gives me some doubt.
I'm going to go with the Brazilian.
The shadow.
Yeah, Thiago Alves, seasoned vet. I mean,
Could that mean that maybe the fight is in question? Like the fighter may not show up.
His picture shows up on the little shit, but not on the big shit.
They pull it immediately if that fight's in question. But
Yeah, and we got weigh-ins tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to be the fun day. Yeah.
Yeah, should find out where they're
Is there
doing
a
weigh-ins.
media day?
Probably not media day, but I'm sure they're doing open weigh-ins.
Open weigh-ins.
That'd be all right.
Yeah,
That's better than Damon Wayans and his family of terrible fucking humor.
when it comes to Thiago Alves, you're either going to get a knockout or you're going to get a fight to the finish.
I'll go Thiago on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go familiarity. This next one, though, Kevin thinks it's going to be fight of the night, and I find it hard to disagree.
It is going to be fight. Is it James Vick?
James Vick fighting Francisco Trinaldo.
James Vick wanted to be the headliner of this card.
But apparently Cerrone had something to say about that.
And it is a fact that as much as he thinks that he's pretty big shit in the UFC, and he's kind of getting there, but he's not there yet for a headliner. But he is getting a fight in his home state. He's a Fort Worth guy.
And it's lightweight. It's a stacked division.
I like James Vick.
I like James
him
Vick a lot.
That guy, I think, is going to bring some violence. He's going to get fight of the night, I think, if he can fucking figure out.
Yeah, they'll both. I think they're both going to make $50,000 off this.
Yeah,
I don't see this finishing the first. I see it being a
good
battle
fight.
of attrition.
Yeah,
but I have to agree with you. I think James Vick is going to get in there.
This guy
I wouldn't be surprised if he took Trinaldo's back and put him to sleep.
This guy has wanted this fight for a long time, man.
And it's a great matchup. It really is. Like, the matchmakers got this right.
They
really did.
They really did. Yeah.
Co-main event of the evening. 7th ranked Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, where all the white women at.
No.
Just Ronda Rousey. Just Ronda Rousey. I know.
Where that fine ass Ronda Rousey at? That's.
Where's she at?
She's training for her pro wrestling debut, man.
Yeah,
Pro wrestling? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She popped up at the
WWE
Royal Rumble.
What?
Yeah. She signed a multi-year full-time deal with the WWE.
Derek Lewis beat her boyfriend, who I guess
Right,
her
right.
husband,
I
and
saw
then
that.
beat
I
him
saw
and
that.
then called out,
Right,
where's that fine ass
right.
Ronda Rousey at?
I'm waiting for the Tantra videotape.
I don't think Derek Lewis. I mean, I'm sure he can make his dick bend that way, but I mean, he's not gonna be doing any weird maneuvers. I was thinking tantric. That's what I was thinking.
Tantric.
I really think you exposed a bit of yourself on that
Hey,
fuck up. So,
I love me some Derek Lewis.
I dig.
I'm a fan of the Black Beast.
How do you know that was a fuck up?
That's right. I was saying what I meant. If this fight ends in one round, Derek Lewis is going to put Tibura on the ground, and he's not going to get up for a good minute or two.
I think I think the last two fights of the night, this one and the main event, are going to be really fast.
And I really like Marcin Tibura. I mean, if this fight can go past the second round, he has a good, legitimate shot.
I just think Derek Lewis gets a hold of him and gives him one good, solid right hook.
Yeah,
and
puts
I
him
think
down.
it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Derek Lewis on the table here, which leads us to the main event. Oh my God, I'm so worried. Donald,
What are you worried about, man?
Cowboy Cerrone. I'll let you know
Because we actually kind of like Donald Cerrone, but oh my God.
I loved his body. I mean, that fucking combination he threw on Matt Brown was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in MMA. A 4-hit combination that hit every part of his body, and it was all 100% connect. But this guy wants to ride ATVs and go surfing and skydiving and go to Amsterdam, smoke dope with his girlfriend. And now he's in Austin,
Well,
and instead of getting ready for a fight, the fucking guy's checking out the Alamo in San Antonio.
Not good.
And I've been saying this on the podcast for months. Do you want to be a fighter or do you want to be a cowboy? He can do both. He can be either one. He can't do both.
Right? You can't do both.
We're going to find out Sunday what he chose. Because if he loses on Sunday,
because Yancy Medeiros is going to kick his ass.
That's right. He's like,
Sunday.
motherfucker, I'm a fighter, and that's what I'm going to come here and do. Cerrone's lost 3 in a row. If he loses, this will be his 4th loss in a row. And I hate to already think he's going to lose, but that's how I feel. I'm picking
Medeiros.
him.
The stats are saying what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, I mean,
it just is.
Yancy Medeiros is actually a guy that has got a whole lot of desire, which I think that Donald Cowboy Cerrone is kind of pulled back a bit on.
Yeah.
It's a known fact, and he put it out there on the Rogan podcast, that he does not spar anymore. He doesn't spar. He doesn't live spar with anybody anymore.
No, but he will jet ski everywhere.
But let me no, fucking laugh. But I mean, it's a fact.
It is church truth.
So let me ask you, as a man with 3 different black belts and 3 different disciplines,
Okay.
if you had something coming up, would you not live spar at least a little bit with something?
You know, yes, because your body learns to not take hits anymore, and that's part of the game.
It's a contact sport.
Knowing how to take hits and your body being able to absorb the hits that you're taking and being able to move past that and be effective in your own offense.
So let me move to this question then. So he ends up getting like liver kicked by RDA when he's at 155.
When he's fighting for the belt, yeah.
But since that point, he has stopped sparring. He stopped live sparring.
I think that's a mistake.
Has it been ever since the RDA fight?
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake.
So he bumped up to welterweight and didn't spar.
Right.
And it was doing well.
Yeah.
But then he started running some hungry motherfuckers.
Well, you start getting the upper divisions of any weight class.
That's the thing. They've been feeding Cerrone young blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hungry fucking fighters.
Christ almighty, he got Mickey Till, right?
Mickey Gall.
Mickey.
No, Darren Till.
Darren Till.
I mean, Darren Till, Jorge Masvidal, and now Yancy Medeiros. I really feel like the UFC has been setting him up for failure.
Well, probably. That what they're doing is they're setting up the young talent to be able to have him on the resume.
Yeah.
You're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it from the standpoint of Cowboy Cerrone.
Well,
you should be looking at it from the standpoint of Yancy Medeiros.
Oh, well, no. This fight does Yancy Medeiros so many favors, win or lose. It does nothing for Cowboy, win or lose.
All right.
If he wins, I mean, that's fine. But I am picking Yancy Medeiros by a finish, and I think it's going to be early.
Cowboy's got to wake up. Or he's got to choose. He's gonna wake up in the
you gonna be
dressing
cowboy?
room.
You want to be a cowboy or you want to be a fighter? What are you going to do? Right.
I mean, I'm cool with him being a cowboy. I still follow his career, but God damn it, I think it's just going to be a bad day on Sunday for him.
I think it will. Let's move to our picks.
Drink. I'm fucking picking what we got here at the table.
Dude, it's awesome. That's
Bullet
awesome.
Rye.
I've never seen a new bottle of Bullet Rye be over half empty near the end of the podcast.
Well, we don't usually have like a third, so
yeah. I mean, we try to do work.
This, by the way, this fellow is in my genetic fucking line, so you should not be surprised.
Yeah, well, Hazan told the alcoholics at the table there.
Taking a beat. So.
I got to go with Bullet Rye myself.
Yes,
anything with bullet in it, I'm okay. Yeah.
The metal side. Wow, what the fuck was Earth?
Earthside.
Earthside.
Yeah.
Check out Earthside. Google that or YouTube search that. Search it out.
It's an album that they don't have a singer. It's all guest appearances by some pretty good names. Bjorn Stritt of Soilwork.
It's fucking great.
Lejean from Seven Dust is on there.
Yep.
Daniel Tompkins, his former singer Tesseract, is on there as well.
That's what we're going to be listening to later. I guarantee you.
And as far as I go, I'm going to go fucking Big Wreck. It ain't metal, but I was really enjoying that in the fucking Jeep. Darryl, what do you got for metal?
The hills.
So are we talking full on albums?
Your musical pick of the evening.
Your pick of the evening.
Okay, all right. So these guys never get mentioned anymore because they're fucking old, and that's a shame.
Anvil.
No. No, my pick is I'm going to pick one song by one group who actually are part of the whole beginnings of metal. I'm going to go with Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay.
From the record Heaven Forbid, and the song is See You in Black.
Can we get you to set that up to close us out, sir?
No.
Okay. Well,
that'll be all right. We got it now. Why don't you save that for the end? Because we got to do
Not yet.
We got to do the
So your
we got
pick.
to do the MMA pick.
See, this
Yeah,
is
Is there a way to get
this is how good I am.
Yeah, I know. Well, is there a way we can get that over your system here as we close up?
I'm going to go wander over to the system right now.
So give us your pick for UFC
MMA.
or MMA. Your MMA pick.
Oh, my MMA pick. Well, so anybody named Texecutioner, I'm kind of fond
James
of.
Vick. Good man. That's it.
So I'm going to go with that.
All right.
Well, go get us that.
I'm
Line
setting it up.
Cue us up and
Kevin, what do you got?
Yep.
What do you got for Sunday?
Fucking James Vick. I didn't know my brother was going to pick the same thing. Jesus Christ. That was my pick way before we started the whole thing. I didn't realize he was going to jump in and do the same thing.
I'm going to pick it's kind of a weird pick, but I think Tabura has the best chance for an upset on Sunday.
So you're looking for him to wear the damage for a round.
I'm looking for him to wear him down for 5 minutes. Derek Lewis doesn't have a tank. That dude gets tired.
That's it. He's a first round.
After
guy.
the second round, he loads up for one shot and that's it.
But he fucking made Travis Brown. He finished
Travis
Travis
Brown is a cunt.
Well, you're right. But
As far as left field picks, I'm going Marcia Tabura, second round finish Sunday night.
what do you think about my James Vick pick?
James Bitch.
James Vick.
Vic and Trinaldo, that is going to be fight of the night. I don't know who wins that fight. I think that is one of the better matched fights that this new regime is fucking put together.
Not even on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
Yeah.
On a Sunday card.
Sunday.
We always bitch about Sunday cards, and we're about to go see one in a couple days.
But I had to use a personal day to make it happen. So that's
Well, you know.
all right. Well, Darryl's going to go ahead and get his pick underway now. I'll say this. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Join us tomorrow. We'll be back.
We're going to do another one tomorrow.
We might do a post fight on Sunday. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It depends on how Sunday goes.
Right.
Well, Darryl,
Had a blast.
Darryl, my friend, thank you so much for housing us and allowing us to get drunk and rock.
Yes, and I'd like to
good
see
shit.
you both in black, which you're wearing actually.
I'm wearing blue.
Oh shit!
I'm in
blue.
I'm in blue.
Midnight blue.
This is my midnight blue in NASA. Yes.
Well, boys, I say we get this night started.
Let's go and go what we do on Friday. So hey, I'll tell you this. Enjoy your night. We will report as best we can, and we will continue on the Mead Metal and MMA Podcast.
The road continues regardless of
Just
anything.
getting shit done.
That's right. Thank you, friends.